Brad, new knife for the table. Sorry to interrupt you there. New knife for the table. So you can show all you people how to sharpen a long blade, I guess.
All right. Tell you what, look it up. Cold Steel Rex 121. I want you to come on this video and tell me what the hardness is. What's the HRC rating on a Rex 121 Cold Steel blade? Okay. So let's see. Whoa, that's a chopping blade. That's pretty cool, actually. All right. So we'll undress it, and we got some design. It looks like a dragon. That's what it is. It's got a dragon on there. All right, so we got a flat, we have a hollow grind, and then we have a secondary, you know, your primary and your secondary. It's actually really, I mean, it's not real thick, but it's 1/8 of an inch thick. So you see it's from the heel to the apex is quite a ways, so they've actually made it sharper by making the angle lower to get it sharper. So let's look and see. Oh, that's not as sharp as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's not bad, but I can actually see. If I hold still, get right in on the apex of cutting edge, see how the cutting edge shines? Okay, that means it's flat. If it shines, it's flat. It's not horribly flat, but it is flat. Okay, oh, yeah, it is. All right, so let's work on it. When we sit down. Use my leg. You can feel okay, that's a straight line across there. That's a straight line across there. So you take the two straight lines, start high, and bring it down until you can feel it kind of clink when it gets flat. Get it in the sun just right. Start back here and move right on out like that. Go right on. I'm tipping it this way. If I run this way, it'll accentuate and it'll make them bigger. When they grind these, there's scratch marks from the sand on the belt. They run 90 degrees to the blade, so if you run 90 degrees to the blade, it's just gonna kind of make it worse. So I tilt it like this. Oh, startled me. And then just go right on out like this. So instead of making them worse, you make them better. Or worse, I don't know, depending on. I actually kind of like the little teeny tiny sawtooth edge from the sandpaper on the belt when they sharpen them, just like that. Just like this. Don't press too hard, let it work, don't make it work. Set it down, slide it forward, set it down, slide it forwards, just like that. This blade is a little bit soft, it's not an expensive knife. Just like that, right on out. Come back this way at me. Don't worry about the little shavings because you don't ever end up with them somewhere where you don't like it. Unless somebody got a big pile of them and dumped them down your shorts, and you may think, oh, I don't like that. Just like that, right on in here, like that, that. Now, as thick as the blade is, this is more of like chopping chickens into, you know, chopping chicken bones, pork chop, things like that. The steel is not hard enough to take that for very long. So, but that is more what this is for. You could baton it through wood, you can make kindling, you can chop limbs off, you can make a shelter with it. You know, you can use it in the kitchen. I would not call this a kitchen knife. I would call it more of a survival knife, to where you can actually chop small trees down, you can chop limbs off, branches, split wood, make kindling, make tent stakes, stuff like that. You could actually baton easily this. It's got enough weight to it, okay, that you can chop with it like that. So let's see what we got now. That's a huge difference. So let's make it just a little better. I don't know what that was.
That's Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah, that's Aurora, Colorado. It happens all the time. Go right on out. As thick as that blade is, it may never slice paper very good, but it'll darn sure cut limbs. We'll actually whack some of these limbs off here just for the fun of it. Just like that. Right out like that. And it's funny, back here and out here, you can see that when you got the belt running this way, and they come up, and the belt is running right down through here. You come up, you get your angle right, touch, and come right on across. All right, I can see that out here they had it tipped in a little more. Then when they got there, they tipped it down, and then they tipped it back in because the length from the heel of the blade to the apex of the blade is shorter than it is here. So I can tell you exactly how it got tipped as it went through the blade. Then you turn it over, you come in, and then you do that. All right, so let's see. And this was probably finished. Well, it was actually started and finished, probably was somewhere in the neighborhood of probably 120 grit paper. So it leaves kind of a little sawtooth edge. If you went up to 400 or 600 grit, you could polish the blade a little better, take some of that sawtooth off. And I know my sharpener actually leaves a little tiny sawtooth. And after a long period of time, you know, you'll get what I call little railroad tracks on it, but come to find out on meat, it cuts a lot better. That's really not too bad. If it'll cut, ooh, that actually bites. And let me check, there's a little burr on this side. I do not leave the burrs on my blades no matter what anybody says. Touch it lighter, 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 lighter. I'll turn it this way, that way, that way. I disrupt the cut pattern. And that way I actually cut the burrs off the blade instead of just swinging them out and pushing them to the other side. I would flip it, look at it for a second. If we're out in the woods, that might be pretty close to where I leave it, because you really don't need, out in the woods on timber and trees and limbs and stuff, you don't really need even close to razor sharp out there. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna mutilate the trees a little bit. The limb wants to move out of the way. It's really actually pretty thick. I don't think you would want a knife that you're going to chop small trees down, chop limbs off, split wood and stuff. You don't want it too sharp. And actually that one is probably, it won't move until it takes fingernail right off. This is Brad Buckner, sharpensbest.com. I would work on that just a little bit more. And if I needed to or wanted to, I'd take a river rock and I might run it across there like that. I've never really done that, but I could if I wanted to. All right, that's actually still got a really thick cutting edge on it. I'd have to work on it more. Probably run it through the V. Shall we just take 2 minutes and do it, or quit?
I guess we're here already.
All right, so let's run it through the V.
They've gone this long watching you repeat yourself.
All right, so let's see. Yeah, put that. Oh my God, the metal's just flying. It's actually pretty soft. Come right down here and look. And you can, nope. Anyway, I thought I could still find it in the grass.
It's a long 2 minutes.
All right, we're gonna quit here in just a minute. Oop. Now that one. And you can actually see the big spring metal flying off. That's a pretty good piece of steel. But it's the same thing as if I were at a belt sander. I'd take off the same amount of metal. All right, let's see if we're even closer now. Okay, that's good enough for this knife. It takes the fingernail right off. This is Brad Buckner, sharpensbest.com. I'll work on it maybe again sometime later. And just keep making it sharper. But in the first place, it's soft metal. It's never going to be very sharp. Talk to you later.